Hey, this is Aramithius, host of Written in Uncertainty, and you're listening to The Download, weekly gaming news.
Robots Radio presents
Rated M for mature.
Oh my.
Oh my, indeed.
That was real sassy.
Thank you. It's The Download, everybody. Weekly gaming news. I'm your host, Jameson.
I can't keep it together, but I am also your host, Brenna.
Come on, Brenna. Give us a little Valley Girl.
You don't really want me to do Valley Girl. I know that you hate it, Jameson.
I don't hate it. You're just such a hoe sometimes, you know?
Listen up here, bitch. No.
Come on, let's go get some shoes.
Oh god, if that doesn't bring you back. Oh my god, shoes.
That was peak internet right there. Was 2007 when YouTube was really just starting. Peak internet.
Had the tube television for the icon.
I remember that, yeah.
Right?
There was like 16 things in the App Store on the iPhone.
Yeah, there wasn't that many videos up on YouTube. It was good stuff.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Like I said, this is the Download Weekly Gaming News, where we give you the DL on the latest in gaming every week in a small bite-sized download. Wrote that myself. Thank you for the wink.
Sounds real professional. Look at that.
Yeah, it does. We got some YouTube videos we'll be posting this week. We'll finally be posting the Golf with Friends Let's Plays. The Brenna cut will not be posted. It's you guys just can't handle it. It's too much for you guys.
Maybe Patreon.
Maybe
Patreon.
We'll make you pay for it. I mean, it might as well be OnlyFans content. Let's be honest.
You know, don't judge me, please.
The best part is I am equally as bad. It's just funnier because it's you.
It's just not clipped together, which is also freaking annoying. All of mine are like stack. It's just
You're just upset because there isn't context. It is just all thrown together.
Yeah, and we're playing golf, so it's like, get it in.
Yeah, the biggest game of innuendos already. So there will be that. I'm also working on some Rainbow Six Siege clips that I'll post hopefully on YouTube this week. So keep an eye out. What you got?
Sims. We might be doing some Sims stuff as well.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about putting together some Sims videos. So yeah, stuff's happening. Also, always be sure to keep checking the website. I'm working on trying to set up so that we can post some like news articles on there as well from like some other sites, kind of an aggregator. So keep an eye out for that. This week, our chat room guest is Aramithius. I think I said that correctly. I tried to write down a phonetic spelling of it when he said it over the weekend, but he's from the Written in Uncertainty podcast, which is all about Elder Scrolls, and we had a great time talking with him. So tune in for that. We're also sponsored by Loot Crate, Gamefly, Green Man Gaming, and NordVPN. This week, because it is the end of Spooktober, we're going to highlight Loot Crate because it's your last chance before they're gone to get all of their wonderful Halloween and horror-related stuff. They have so much stuff on there for Halloween and horror. Personally, I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to horror and things like that. I know Brenna loves it.
Love it.
But if that is your thing, they have tons of stuff on there. I know they do have a year-round horror box, but basically what it is it's a like $20 monthly subscription. You get a box every month full of cool stuff, usually a t-shirt, some other cool knickknacks and collectibles. If you use the code Robots Radio, you get 15% off when you use our link in the description, and it supports us, the show. So with that, again, there's not really anything crazy happening right now. We're kind of in this weird, actually, it's a pretty unusual lull because October is usually such a huge month it's kind of the kickoff of the fall season for games, and we got nothing.
It's because we already know. They
Yeah.
given everything already. So, what is there to even find out? What is there to drop? Because they've been dropping it, little
Well,
tidbits all over the year.
yeah, but usually we get a lot of games in October as well too. But just with COVID, a lot of stuff has been pushed, and then with next gen coming next month or in 2 weeks, I should say. Uh,
Ow.
there everything's kind of waiting, so it's a weird kind of lull. So, kind of the biggest story from last week was AOC. Which, if you're not familiar, her name is Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. I know I said it so wrong.
It's okay. Did
That
good.
was the white man pronunciation. If I heard it once, I could say it right, but the problem is I've taken French and not Spanish, so I don't I can't make it sound very fluid, even though it's
Okay,
kind of the
I'm
same.
like the worst Latin. I can't roll my R's, so I'm not even
Terrible.
gonna try. It just sounds like me gurring at you.
So she goes by AOC. Pretty much everybody calls her that. That's her, like, all of her social media handles. Like, that's her go-to name, basically. And so for those of you outside of the US, and maybe even some of you inside of the US, she is a United States representative in New York, which is Congress government. She's a politician, elected official. And what's so unique about her is her age and her background, which makes her pretty dang awesome, in my opinion, because we need more young,
Working
normal.
class people.
We need more millennials. We need more people like our age in politics. And I say that with a lot of reservation because I dislike 90% of the people that are our age. But it would be nice to get some more representation. Anyway, as many of you know, politics and gaming have long been enemies, as politics have pointed the finger at gaming as the causes of school shootings, mass shootings, and just general violence, because gaming is.
It has nothing to do with the state of our country and the politics that go on and enforce laws.
And, we'll just ignore the fact that it used to be everybody's favorite pastime. On the Saturday morning, you just all gather in the town square and you watch some guy pull out a guy's guts and have a horse drag him apart. You maybe hang him,
Stoning. You got to pick your own stones. Each kid gets a few stones to throw at hanging bodies.
Saturday's just for the boys. But video games, that's the true evil. So, and it definitely hasn't cut any slack, but lately, politicians, especially some of the younger ones, are starting to see gaming as a way for them to reach constituents. We've seen that with Biden Island in Animal Crossing.
I mean, Hillary was in Animal Crossing as well, wasn't she? Or was another politician?
It was another one. I can't remember who. But so AOC took to Twitch this past week to play Among Us with a bunch of streamers and YouTubers, including James Charles, Greg Miller, actress Felicia Day, Chelsea Manning, as well as Pokimane and a bunch of Myth, Dr. Lupo.
Sorry, whoa. She played with Pokimane?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see like a stark contrast of two different people in life, AOC and Pokimane.
Right. Right.
Like, not find more of an opposite.
Yeah, so she was on there. She was playing some good old Among Us, and turns out she is a pretty dang good imposter.
That doesn't bode well for politics.
No, it does not. She definitely got a couple people a few times. And I respect this to her. Another congressperson, Ilhan Omar, joined her on stream as well too. And guess what her Twitch icon is?
Oh no, what is it?
It's a Gundam head.
What?
Respect.
Yoshi's.
No,
Okay, hold
no,
on.
her friend, Ilan Omar.
Oh, okay, but he's another congressman.
She is another.
Oh, she is another
congresswoman.
congressman. Has a Gundam head.
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
So,
Why can't I have these people as my representatives?
yeah.
What's her? I want to know what her state is. Her state and her district. She was also one of the first like openly Muslim politicians elected in the U.S. because she is Somali and she represents Minnesota.
Of all the states, I would have not picked Minnesota.
Oh no, Minnesota and Michigan and Wisconsin have huge Somali populations.
Interesting.
I guess for whatever reason, that's where the U.S. decided to dump a bunch of refugees way back in the 90s. And so now when Somalis immigrate, they just all go there. I mean, America, melting pot.
It's super weird. Certain places, like Las Vegas, is called the Seventh Island because apparently Hawaiians, like a lot of Hawaiians, move over to Las Vegas and populate. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, there's lots of little interesting pockets like that. But yeah, so she took over Twitch and she quickly became the most watched channel that night, gathering over 400,000 concurrent viewers. And for a first stream, she was in like the top 5 or top 10 of most like concurrent viewers of a streamer. So she was doing good. Also, like the picture of her, like her and like Ilion, like just in their like back office with their gaming PC. So awesome.
Right. And it really is just.
I said Ilion, it's Ilan.
God, white guy, get it together. Anyways,
I don't know what I'm reading.
I don't know what you're doing either. It is funny to see them. They're like just kind of sitting in the back area that they have kind of sectioned off. And if I can peer inside of this computer too, it's like, that's not bad. That's actually a decently good computer. Like that's the NZXT case.
Yeah.
It's of course in AOI.
Yeah. So she got the IQ, the NZXT case, as you said, 6 terabyte SSD.
Damn. She's got them Trident Z.
She's got a 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe.
That Congress money.
The Trident, yeah, GeForce 260 Super. And my only issue is the Intel i7. No, the Intel i7.
Okay.
AMD is so much better now.
AMD is so much better, but it's okay. I mean, at least the 7 is high. It's a high CPU.
She could put a Threadripper in that. Run Crysis without a graphics card. Instead, she's over here RAM? Playing 32 gigabytes.
Damn. Wait, she only has 2 sticks in there.
2 sticks of 16. She ain't playing around.
Damn, son. Okay. Wow. I just feel really poor.
So I know. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I've seen a whole bunch of clips, and it is definitely just wholesome, like just quality content. So
talking about video games are they're just violent as can be.
And what gets me is so many politicians play video games just behind the scenes. Like it's just a great way to relax because it's entertaining and engaging.
Could you imagine if all the like Grandpa Joe that you see on Call of Duty and Siege was actually Joe Biden?
Well, you know what it made me think of is you remember House of Cards? Like in one of the first episodes, Frank Underwood comes home from a day of whipping votes in Congress, and he sits down in his basement on his couch, and he's just mindlessly playing Call of Duty. just absolutely wrecking kids. You know, there are tons of politicians that do that. They just want to unplug.
It would be so great just to get absolutely wrecked by like your congressman or your local like whatever.
They
That'd be
get on
hilarious.
mics and it's like Bill Clinton like trash talking you. So good. Anyway, so
I wanted to
that
make
was
a really inappropriate joke.
I know. So super cool to see. With that though, we're going to dive into our chat room conversation with Aramithius from the Written in Uncertainty podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the chat room. This week we are joined by Aramithius, or James. You know him better as the host of Written in Uncertainty. I got it right that time. Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Oh no, thank you for having me, guys. It's great to be here with you and just having a chat.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna talk about some Elder Scrolls 6. We'll play a little game, and then we'll give the people a chance to hear where they can find you. So, with that, we're gonna dive right in. So, Bethesda recently purchased by Microsoft, and we know they've stated that Starfield will be coming out before Elder Scrolls 6. So we're looking at sometime like 4 years, crazy, till Elder Scrolls 6, which means all we really have at this point is just wild speculation. And what's more fun than just wild speculation? So,
well, we have one picture.
We do we have some beautiful mountains. That's pretty much about it. I don't even think we have a location.
There's a crater.
Oh, a crater?
Yes, there is a crater, which some people have got very, very excited about. I don't know whether it quite maps onto what people are getting excited about the crater for, but we'll see. Because the crater, the reason that people are getting excited about the crater is because there were some different forms of magic that were dropped in an obscure Elder Scrolls game called Shadowkey. And it was basically a mage who was mucking around with, the way I think about it, the Elder Scrolls equivalent of general relativity, and managed to blow himself up.
Fantastic.
And a village up with it. And where he did that, there's just this massive crater, and it's called Azra's Crossing. It's named after him. And so I've heard a lot of people think that the crater that's in that picture is the thing from Azra's Crossing. But to me, it looks a little bit like it's too near the coast for that, given where we think Azra's Crossing is. But
do we know what parts of the greater Elder Scrolls world that 6 is going to take place? I haven't seen anything.
Speculation as of so far. Right?
Yeah, it's very, very loose. I mean, I've heard people say High Rock. My money is personally on Hammerfell, just based on some of the architecture. Although, having replayed some of ESO Elsewhere lately, some of the ruins that are there makes me think, there's some sandstone there. So are we looking at Elsewhere for Elder Scrolls 6? But that's very, very out there compared to the other two. I would absolutely love it if it was Elsewhere. I really, really want to see some more non-human provinces with the Elder Scrolls, but I think it's unlikely, unfortunately.
I've also seen some people hinting that it might be Daggerfall, one of the High Rock kingdoms.
Yeah, because of how the mountains are in relation to the coastline and that sort of thing, it looks like it could potentially be on one side or the other of the Iliac Bay, and kind of revisiting that area, which would be really, really nice, because they actually have the technology to make it look really decent and differentiate it really well this time around. Because Daggerfall was, in some ways, it's got a lot of foundational stuff for the lore of the games, but it's still a little bit generic in places.
Yeah.
Anything honestly would be nice at this point. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I don't really count the Elders, like the online, as Elder Scrolls game for me. So last thing I
Mhm.
remember, it's Skyrim 2011. That was the last Elder Scrolls game for me. I kind of just ignore
Mm.
all of online.
I
Fair
think we
enough.
need to give online a chance again. I played it for a while in the very beginning before they even started really fixing anything. So it was really
Mm.
bad then, and I've never gone back. But obviously, it's grown immensely since then. So it might be worth taking a look at now, Brenna. But so the next
Yeah.
real thing is, what do we want to see in the game? Like, are there any kind of features or just content that we really want? For me personally, I'm big on customization. I want to see like
Mhm.
the one thing that I really liked about ESO just at the beginning was all right off the bat there was more uh types of weapons, more types of armor, and they had different types for different races. And I like that way more than Skyrim. I get Skyrim is a little bit, confined to a specific area, but when you break down kind of what was there crafting wise, it was pretty limited. So I would love to see some more of that. I would love to see some more customization of what you can do with your character, what you can craft. And the other big thing for me is two other big things. A little bit more ambiance in the world, like walking around in the woods and stuff. It'd be nice if they could work in some more sounds, and then
There are
maybe
plenty of
try and get
mods.
some. I know,
And
I
I
know,
know it'd be nice if it was just
Yeah.
base, but there are so many mods for that. It's absolutely
Yeah.
insane.
very true. And
Yeah.
then
That.
my
Although that.
last thing
Mhm.
is weapon
That's.
combat. I would love to see
Yeah.
something just a little bit more step up rather than just swing and block. So
Yes.
that's what
No.
I've got.
Yeah. That's part of what I'm after as well. Just seeing what more they can do with it, particularly if they're in Hammerfell, because the Red Guards have the whole culture of the sword type thing going on, and so if they don't milk that for all it's worth, then it's going to be slightly disappointing. There's part of me that doesn't want them to include sword singing in it, simply because the lore of the game says this is the dead art, and I don't want to just pull it out of nowhere. It just won't make a lot of sense. But I think that's probably the closest thing you're going to get to a mechanic like shouts as a way to differentiate your character, that sort of thing.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
they could, the dragonborn of the new game could be the sword singer. That could be what you are.
yeah,
Oh, please
yeah.
no.
Yes, that's another one of my things. I just got so sick of the narrative of yes, you are the chosen one instantly all the time in
Yep.
Skyrim.
Uh-huh.
It just
You're
bugs
finally
me
awake.
immensely. So, so I just I want some more ambiguity in there. I mean, my Elder Scrolls home is the Elder Scrolls 3, and that had a huge thing of are you actually the Nerevarine, are you not? And it was very, very vague for a good chunk of the game. And so bringing that back would be lovely. And something that some sort if they've been talking about making next gen technology part of it and making a big deal out of it. I mean, next gen is a hugely nebulous term, whatever that means. But having changes that will happen to the world a bit more as a result of your gameplay, rather than just the guards knowing what you've done and having a line of dialogue here and there, having
Yep.
tangible changes and effects in the world would be lovely. And that also plays into something that I miss hugely from the earlier games, that some of the factions you can join, they would then other factions would hate you because you were part of that faction, like the Telvanni and the Mages Guild didn't get on. And
Now that you
the Imperial,
point that
yeah,
out, the factions in Skyrim were actually kind of a joke. It was more of like just a little bit of a alternative storyline, and then it never amounted into anything. Like it never affected you in any way, and yeah.
yeah, they were all storylines that played out, and then all of a sudden, oh, you were ahead, and it didn't really affect anything much, and you could be head of everything, which just didn't make sense to
Really
me.
could. Yeah.
No.
I mean, this is the game 9
All
years
business.
ago came out. So I'm hoping that everything that we're talking about, if that game came out today, it would be like instantly terrible.
You know,
I'm
but
hoping that
roughly in that same time frame, though, we're having GTA 5, we're having Red Dead Redemption. Like, there are some other very strong games that are coming out at this time frame. The Witcher 3 came out not too long after that, so that was in development at that time. So I mean, there was a lot of strong stuff out there. So I mean, saying that it was, it was 9 years ago, it's kind of a
this is
poor
where
excuse.
him and I argue
It
because
still holds up. Anyway, sorry.
his thing is the world is massive. The world is really big. The amount of
It feels
gameplay
so
is a lot
empty.
more. It doesn't. He doesn't understand.
No.
But it's also in the middle of the time era. Like, why would there be a bunch of cityscape, or why would there be a bunch of towns all right next to each other? So they kind of half of it was running around through this area and then stumbling upon like a hut or something like that, and then being able to raid it, or like a random cave that you find.
Yeah, discovery's always been a huge part of the Elder Scrolls, and you can't have that unless you've got a wide area to get lost in. So,
and I don't mind the wide area.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the world just to feel a little bit more, full and lively, like, because it is a world, like if you go walking around in the woods, there's noises you hear, there's things you can see, so just a little bit more of that would really kind of bring it home. There was something else that I wanted to say, and I can't remember, but yeah, I definitely do have some pretty high expectations, and I think Microsoft just being partnered with Bethesda will be able to only help the game, just because of some of the titles they've worked on. So I think we will get a larger world. I think we'll get a fuller world. They'll have better graphics engines available, and Microsoft has made some excellent games with melee combat. Rise Son of Rome was just a small little standalone one, and while that was still arcadey, even just a simple combat system like that, and a Elder Scrolls game would go a long way. So I definitely think it's only going to be a positive partnership.
Oh yeah, no, it's I've heard a lot of people getting excited about the prospects for some kind of a Bethesda Obsidian co-op for Elder Scrolls, because that went so well with Fallout. That having them under the same umbrella with Microsoft will make those sorts of things work so much better. I mean, I'd like to see a return to the Elder Scrolls Adventures series. Even that would be a really interesting prospect, but because the IP is big enough to sustain all sorts of things like that.
Right.
So
it really is at this point. I wouldn't mind them adding in more companions, like animal companions. Something where I can. Yeah, I mean, we have a horse, but it's not really. I can just pick up any horse and then drop it off of a cliff and be fine.
Yes.
So,
but
different animals and things.
That's game physics, though.
It is. The game physics do need some work. I don't need to hop up an entire mountain. But we can go on forever. But I'm gonna pause it there, and we are gonna go into the 60-second download game. And so, Brenna's
pressure's on.
Questions. The goal is just to answer as quickly as you can. First thing that comes to mind, and we'll see how well you do. So let me
probably terribly.
Oh no, I can hear the internet people outside. All right, ready?
Imminent doom.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Favorite childhood game?
Secret of Monkey Island.
Favorite current game?
Elder Scrolls Online.
Go-to gaming snack and drink?
Some Walker's multi-ridge crisps and some ale.
So incredibly British. All right. Favorite type
Absolutely.
of Slim Jim or meat stick?
Favorite type of what? Sorry.
Slim Jim. You probably don't really have. I'm going to skip that one
No.
over for you.
Skip that one.
That's either a kebab or a sausage. They don't have other meat sticks. Anyway.
Gaming character crush.
Ooh. I haven't really had one since Amy Rose was a thing in the 90s, I suppose.
Console or PC?
PC.
RGB or no RGB?
I'm going to say I don't actually know what those terms are, so I'll go with it so long as the system can go.
Fantastic. Who's your gaming companion, example, your pet?
The book, generally.
Fantastic.
That will do it.
Okay.
Continue. Yeah. What is this book companion thing we got going here?
Oh, that's just me thinking. All I want to do when I get into worlds is just absorb the world and take notes. I'm just far too used to either being lost in a thing and there's no manual things, or there's nothing to help you keep track of stuff, or having a game that's bad enough, or a computer that's bad enough that I can't actually run the game at full capacity, so I read about the game rather than actually playing the game. Yeah, because until maybe 2 years ago, I had a computer that was a mid-range thing in for 2013, and Skyrim was running at about 12 frames per second with all the mods I wanted. So it was an effort to get things going. So I absorb stuff about games more than I tended to play them until relatively recently.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we've done the game. We've done our wild speculation. Now tell everybody where they can find you, where they can hear Written in Uncertainty, and maybe tell us a little bit about what's coming next on the show.
Well, Written in Uncertainty you can find pretty much anywhere. You can find podcasts at this point. I've tried to sling it in whatever podcatchers I can that will let me in, and I've had very few say no. Written in Uncertainty as a podcast, for those of you who don't know, it's a podcast that's looking at the Elder Scrolls lore, going back into the text and just asking a few more of the more difficult questions. There's some very, very good podcasts out there that will cover the basics, that will tell you what an Argonian is, who the Thalmor are, and so on. So I just thought, right, let's just kick it up a notch for the people who already know that stuff. And so I go into what Dragon Breaks are, how they work, how Chim relates to Eastern religions and real world philosophies, how the Bosmer aren't really elves, that sort of thing. Just conspiracy theories and getting thoroughly lost in stuff is what the show's about, really. I have the most recent episode had a chat with Lehman Tuttle, the Elder Scrolls Online lore master, which was just a massive amount of fun. I don't know precisely when this is going to be out, but the next episode is going to be talking about how magic works in the Elder Scrolls, or what that means for the general bits of the cosmos, and then going to be working on that conspiracy theory about, are Bosmer really elves? Because I think there's enough to argue about there, about bits and pieces of their history that make them something else.
Good stuff.
And the stuff that you can find, and the stuff where you can find me, Written in Uncertainty podcast at gmail.com is an email. You can tweet me at Aramithius. And there is a Written in Uncertainty Discord that you can have the details of in the show notes of any Written in Uncertainty episode. So, or you can just find me in, I don't know, several different Elder Scrolls communities. But I talk where they will let me talk.
Fantastic. And obviously the Robots Radio Discord as well is kind of a home for all of us. Well, very cool. Thank you very much for joining us, man. I'm glad we could make this work. It was a great discussion.
Thank you. It's been good. It's been great to talk with you guys.
And we'll have you back real soon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, excellent. Fantastic.
And we're back. Very good conversation. Excellent speculation of Elder Scrolls 6. I do a lot of speculation on that game. I have very high hopes. It needs to be.
We're not getting into this again because I will argue with you. Just kidding.
Skyrim
Really?
sucks.
I will sprint over to your house because I'm in California right now. Smack the crap out of you.
Do it, you won't. Like, I'll go get some popcorn ready. Sit out of my driveway. Stopwatch in hand.
Oh, I mean, you're only like 3 miles away, right? 4 miles? Oh no,
Something
maybe
like
more.
that. I
Too
mean, I'm
much
just.
running.
I don't want to say street names. So news you might have missed. Sims 4 is getting another snowy expansion. But this one is Japanese themed. So it's not really like a snow expansion so much it is a Japanese expansion.
Yeah, they're calling it winter expansion, right?
Snowy
Over here.
Escape.
Snowy Escape. And so normally what they've done in the past is they add things like snowboarding and all those sledding type things into seasons. They didn't do that this time, although we had a more robust seasons expansion. They're putting snowboarding and all that. They're putting rock climbing in there too, which is absolutely great because we have
they're
the golf
adding.
course.
I know they're adding natural hot springs. I want our Japanese houses to be like have a little hot spring.
See, this is where the Sims idea comes from because we've done this once before where I am the controller and I share my screen with Jamie and he is able to kind of direct me in the house that he wants. So that will be a possibility of a YouTube series that we do. But yeah, this seems super cool because the roofing is going to be better. I guarantee you. You can have your own rock gardens. There's a ton of new modern and traditional wear. So for Create Sim, I can't wait. It's a whole new playable world that is going to be fully Japanese themed. So it'll be good with all the pets because a lot of people have made like dogs that look like pandas and tigers and things like that. So it'll be cool.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I do like directing you.
I can come up with a comeback, unfortunately.
Not yet, anyway. Or not that's PG rated for this show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Microsoft Flight Simulator modders are going through and replacing the game. The game is made using Bing Maps. They are going through and replacing all the maps in the game with Google Maps.
Just
amazing. Just amazing.
The amount of effort that is taking.
That's why I love this community.
Don't you put this trash. I will spend my own time not getting paid just to spite Bing.
Yeah, a lot of the players, as they've kind of explored the flight sim world, they've just noticed a lot of glitches, just things not sized appropriately or as high of quality. So they're replacing it all with the much better quality and much more accurate Google Maps because Bing sucks. Additionally, I thought we were kind of done with the loot box lawsuits. But apparently
Seriously.
Canada is going at it with EA. And so EA is once again facing a lawsuit for their loot boxes and their randomized monetization mechanics. That's a new one. What was the fancy one? What was the term we kept using a year ago on the show?
Oh, because they didn't call it gambling, they called it something else, right?
They did. I'm scrolling through episode history to find this right now because this is it was so good. It was so funny.
It was like randomized something. Oh no. Yeah, they tried to call it something else to disguise the fact that they were still doing loot boxes. Like you can't just call it something new.
Surprise mechanics.
surprise mechanics, which vaguely sounds threatening. So,
Right?
like, it's a little concerning of a term, to be honest.
I want a horror game with some surprise mechanics.
Oh, what is that one that's trip and fall? It's like a horror game, and it's absolutely Markiplier and a few other people have played it, but it's terrifying. And characters come like running at you, and then they trip. It ruins the atmosphere, and it's pretty funny.
We got Halloween next weekend. We might have to do a horror
Spooky.
game.
Oh, I don't know. It's just gonna be Jamie and I screaming a lot.
We'll come back to that. Maybe we can try and do a watch party. I've never figured out how to do because you can, if it's because Twitch Prime is owned by Amazon, you can do an Amazon watch party on Twitch, and I've never figured out how to do it.
Oh,
So everyone could grab some popcorn. We could watch a horror movie on.
here we go.
Speaking of which, Disney Plus back up and running, so you should be able to log in. If you can't log in,
Everyone's login is. I'm kidding.
Text me and I'll log you in. Because Mandalorian season 2 on Friday. Hell yeah, brother. Can you tell I am a Star Wars nerd? Anyway,
Oh, you don't ever blabble about it.
EA surprise mechanics are under a lawsuit again. There's a list of over 60 titles included. Obviously, the popular ones such as FIFA, Madden, Battlefield. But there's some other ones like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, which are a little sus.
And did they get?
I don't know. So it's only just been filed, so there's really nothing out there. Which Canada prohibits unlawful gaming, betting, lotteries, and games of chance. And since EA does not have a gambling license in Canada, they are being accused of operating an unlicensed, illegal gaming system through their loot boxes, and not gaming in the video gaming term, gaming in the like casino gaming term.
It's always really annoying because as being a gamer that has grown outside of like a casino area or gambling area, now that I'm in Vegas, everywhere is like gaming and spirits, or like this is a gaming bar with alcohol open 24/7. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh no, that's like slots. That's not video games.
Yeah. And even if it's at video gaming bar, it could just be video slots or video
Yeah,
poker.
exactly.
But Las Vegas is really working hard to establish themselves with the esports scene. So
Luxor has a permanent spot for gaming. So
yeah, and Brenna's University is also expanding their gaming and starting to do more gaming related research, which helps us out.
I will try to get on some research and get you guys some papers published and things like that.
Yeah. Which, side note, that way back when, that Google Scholar thing you sent me on some gaming research, I can't view that because I don't have a Scholar access. You got to download it for me.
I will send you the PDFs. I get special access through colleges and things like that because I teach and I go to school.
Save the PDFs in your. I made a little folder for gaming research for you in the Google Drive, so go use it. Moving along. Darkest Dungeon 2 is coming out next year, and it will be a Epic Games exclusive, unfortunately. I know. I thought we were over this, but
really no one's learning the damn lesson.
I guess not. Yeah, and Darkest Dungeon's already on like Steam. It was so popular. I don't know. I hope they do a mobile version at the start as well too, because it really does make for an excellent mobile game. Not gonna lie. Just because it's super simple and it's 2D. Definitely worth your time if you haven't played it yet. It's available on iOS and Android as well as computer and PC, not PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. It's available pretty much everywhere. Highly recommend, especially if you like D&D. This is something I never thought I would see in my lifetime. Nintendo had to censor Minecraft Steve in Super Smash Brothers because apparently Minecraft Steve's victory screen involved him holding holding meat in front of his groin. Click on the link.
I'm sorry, but they did this. They made this.
So they had to remove the meat because they couldn't have him just big dicking on people just by whipping out his meat on the victory screen.
And you know what the thing is? The angle of it too is just a little too. It's pointed up.
Yes, and so apparently people paused the screen at appropriate times and ended up with that pose. So yeah, that's no longer there. They removed his victory meat. Amazing, fantastic. Brenna and I have very disagreeing thoughts on this, but some of the first pictures of the Uncharted movie have been posted. We get to see our first look at Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. I actually separately later saw a picture of Mark Wahlberg as Sully. I don't like it. As Sully, he looks like a 70s porn star. Like he's got a big old nasty black stash. And with Mark Wahlberg's face.
Yeah, that probably doesn't look right.
Yeah, he looks like he's about ready to lay some pipe, if you know what I mean. Not in the archaeological fashion. So for those of you that aren't familiar, Uncharted is basically a video game version of
it's a puzzle game.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, puzzle adventure game. Which is great. It has some first-person shooter stuff.
Yeah, Naughty Dog was like, let's make Indiana Jones a video game. And thus Uncharted was born. Which it's actually quite a good series. And honestly, I dig Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
He's just got too much of a baby face for me. Nathan Drake is so much more mature. And I understand they want him to be doing these movies for a while, but he needs to at least grow some damn facial hair if he can.
I mean, I was all down for Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake. That would have been amazing as a huge Nathan Fillion fan. But the only thing is Nathan Fillion's like 50. Yeah. So, I mean, he's up there, but I just don't know if he could. So. I just don't know if I just don't know if Nathan Fillion could continue it long enough as well as like really move in the role. Though his Nathan Fillion's acting and quip is so good.
Yeah. Nathan Drake is like got a deeper, raspier voice, and he's not, I mean, he does joke around, but it's not the same way that Tom Holland does. Tom Holland is very like sweet and innocent, and if he does make a dirty joke, it's like, oh, cute, he did a dirty, you know? But Nathan Drake is like a hearty guy. Now the thing is, it's going to be difficult for him to be both Nathan Drake and Spider-Man. Those are two very big titles. So, and especially if they're trying to cover all of Uncharted. There's 5 of them. Plus there's some expansions. So it's like.
That is true. That is true. Apparently, Nathan Fillion's in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie.
Interesting.
I'm intrigued.
I like the Suicide movies. They're pretty good.
I like Nathan Fillion, so I'm on board. Anyway, moving right along. Google stat. So there was some buzz this past week where he identifies as a Google Stadia creative director, but he is a creative director of Stadia Games and Entertainment Montreal studio, formerly known as Typhoon. So yes, he is technically a creative director for Stadia, but he is specifically for a development studio underneath Stadia. So there was a lot of issue with that. But he posted a tweet commenting on Twitch's DCMA clampdown again about music and how streamers are complaining about losing like 10 years of clips and stuff because it has music in it. Well, first off, the DCMA laws have never changed. Why the F were you using that music to begin with? Like, you know, I was getting DCMA'd on YouTube 10 years ago for, you know, we were messing around in Arma 2 and my video had playing.
He's Fortunate Son.
No, it was we were dancing around a campfire in the game. It's Swedish House Mafia
Okay.
1, and I got my video got taken down because that was in it. So I don't feel bad for these streamers because this has always been a rule. Like, it's never not been a rule. It's never not been enforced. They're just being super aggressive about it now all of a sudden. And so he posted a thing saying streamers worried about getting content pulled because they use music they didn't pay for should be more worried by the fact that they're streaming games they didn't pay for as well. It's all gone as soon as publishers decide to enforce it. The real truth is streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content they use.
What?
So you can imagine the
Wow.
buzz that tweet generated. Meanwhile, Google said these tweets do not reflect our views in any shape or form and are distancing themselves from him. He might be out of a job soon. Funnily enough, he later posted after that he was going to be streaming some Among Us that night if anyone wanted to watch. Don't know what is going on with this guy. But Google's head of gaming tweeted, "We believe that publishers and creators have a wonderful symbiotic relationship that allowed for a thriving ecosystem to be created, one that has mutually benefited everyone. YouTube, in this case, but also Twitch, is focused on creating value for creators, publishers, and users. All ships rise when we work together." I think that's what everyone thinks when it comes to gaming, like that streamers and YouTubers only help them sell games, and developers and publishers have only realized that. And that's why they always get free games and free consoles.
Well, if you think about it, the amount of gamers that make a decent amount of money streaming aren't necessarily that much.
No, it's
But when
definitely
they
like a
do-
1% kind of thing.
Yeah, and when they do, and like less than that are the people that are making like, a stupid amount of money, like Ninja. And being able to like live solely off of streaming is it's like really hard to do. So I don't know. It's too much to ask for something like that. If it was really common and everybody was just being able to stream and it was no problem and everyone was living off of it,
I would
maybe
say
even
less.
then,
I would say less than 5% of streamers and YouTubers can have their content as their sole source of income. And then I think even less than 1% of that is, people making absolutely insane bucks. But the fact is that most streamers that are using this as a source of income, they're not making a ton of money. They're maybe making 30 to 60 grand a year. Like if they're having a really particularly good year, which, sounds great and all, but they have partners that can help support them as well too, that are also probably streaming, and they've got so many things going on to try to get to that level. So
Yeah.
Dumb tweet. November 4th, Apex Legends will be available on Steam. It's about time is all I can say. We might have to play some Apex again now that it'll be on Steam.
it's good. I just updated it all on Origin, so that's fun.
Oh yeah, we totally did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We didn't even play it.
No, we did not, because we had to download
Did
it
it.
because neither of us had it downloaded. Well, that's cool. So Apex Legends, Steam. It's about time. No news yet on whether it should still connect to your Origin account, your EA account. So you should not lose any of your content.
I could see it being the way that Siege does it with Ubisoft.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it is. I've launched a game or two from Steam that are EA games, and it's that way. Travis Scott, Brenna's most listened to artist for 2019, has
I shared this with you once because I had a song apparently I liked on a play. Anyways, you know what? I'm not
he was
doing
your
this.
most listened to artist with over 60 hours listened.
There was a few songs in a playlist that I was listening to quite a bit.
Most listened.
Already sprinting on my way. Did you see me like Naruto run, just like down the street?
with your purple tank top and not boxers. What are you?
Sweatpants.
Sweatpants. Good lord, that are actually
I'm
black,
wearing
but
sweatpants.
your
Yeah.
webcam sucks. I can't talk tonight. I don't know.
What are you
Anyway,
doing? How are you a host?
I don't know.
Introspection.
Oh God.
Why
Um.
is me?
So so Travis Scott has become a creative partner with PlayStation. He has been a longtime PlayStation fan, and according to PlayStation, as a artist who is incredibly innovative, constantly surprising, and continues to push boundaries. They think he is the perfect fit for the PlayStation brand. So their big thing is they just want to bring in more creatives to help them kind of flesh out the PlayStation 5 experience. So I'm assuming by bringing him in, we're going to see some more improvements, maybe with their UI and their other systems. So
I
I
could
don't know.
not tell you what he was gonna help with, like at
I
all.
don't know
Maybe
either.
marketing, stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, he did the Fortnite thing. That was kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. Maybe he'll just do, yeah, like you said, maybe he'll just do marketing content. Who knows? Assassin's Creed Valhalla has already announced their first two big post-launch updates, which will be so there's a two-part season pass with that will include two major expansions. There will be some free seasonal updates content. So don't worry. But the two major expansions, the first one is called Wrath of the Druids. Players will be off to Ireland and they will unravel the mysteries behind a ancient druidic cult. Sign me up. So obviously that means, some spooky forests, some Gaelic kings, and all of the antlers and cult activities you could wish for. And then
Oh, oh,
one what?
they hinted at like a barbaric clan that had that sort of feel.
You're
Guaranteed.
right. We did talk about that.
Could be an origin.
Could be.
Would be cool.
And one cannot do the Vikings in England without talking about the Vikings attacking Paris in France. So the second DLC, which will be next summer, Siege of Paris. This will literally just follow the Vikings raid on France and specifically Paris, which if you've ever watched the Viking TV show on History Channel, it actually does a pretty decent job of describing it. But basically, they lost terribly the first time, and then on the second time, they just refused to go away until they got massive amounts of money, and in the process, they managed to sack the city. So super cool. There will also be a exclusive mission in the season pass called the Legend of Beowulf. So
Ooh.
I'm excited. There's lots of good stuff coming to this.
God, I'm already in love. I already love it. I can't wait. I'm
Yeah,
gonna get the season pass.
I need to. I wonder, we might already have the season pass with our collector's edition.
That'd be super cool.
Sometimes when you buy, like, you can, like they have like the gold version or the ultimate version that comes with the passes. Anyway, let's plug the rest of this out. Microsoft, even though Halo Infinite has got delayed, they're revealing all sorts of in-game customization for Halo Infinite. I don't know how I feel about this. It looks like a massive marketing stunt and too much opportunity for companies to get their stuff in here. I like pure Halo. I like just
Does not
I
what
don't
people want. Halo. Just
yeah.
make Halo. We don't
I
care about anything else.
Yeah, I do at least appreciate they are including a feature in the game to disable customization so you don't have to see it if that's what you don't want. Thank God, because it would ruin my Halo experience for me. Because as much as I love customization, I like pure
But
Halo.
take it seriously. If you
Pure.
customize it, it will fit in the world. It will not be bright pink with cheetah print and like some weird, I don't even know.
I don't stop Call of Duty-fying Halo. That's all I gotta say. Surprisingly, Sekiro got a Game of the Year update this past week, adding a bunch of cosmetics, new challenge mode, recordings, a few other things. So that's coming this week on the 29th. So that's cool. Game's super hard. That's cool.
Yeah.
So if you haven't played Sekiro yet and you want to give it a go, now is a good time. And if you are a huge Sekiro player, now is a good time to go back because they'll have all sorts of cool stuff. And lastly, PlayStation 5 is already being bombarded with all sorts of customization options available for their consoles, including a number of faceplates, which are available for pre-order and already selling out. Some of them are super cool, and frankly, anything to get rid of that ugly white router look, I'm on board.
What I'm trying to say is the shape is interesting, and it's definitely not going to look like that. Like the amount of skins and things that you can do with it, I imagine like a Portal one would look really cool.
Well, and that was a thing you could do on the original Xbox, the 360. You could just pop off the faceplates, and they sold all sorts of little custom ones that you could just pop on. So, I'm here for it. But that will do it. Last week for game releases, we had Solasta, Crown of Magistar, Disc Room, Double Pug Switch, Hello Puppets, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Crown Tundra expansion, Red Lantern, and Transformers Battleground. Not too much this week. The biggest one is Watchdog Legions on the 29th. PUBG Season 9 also on the 29th. And on the 30th, Clea, Today Is My Birthday, and Pikmin 3 Deluxe for Switch. So that'll do it. As always, thank you guys so much for listening and for choosing us. We've seen our numbers going up lately, which only makes us happier. It only encourages us to it only encourages us to continue to make shitty, mediocre content that you all seem to absolutely love. So thank you for that. Good Lord. I am a mess. To those of you who support us on Patreon, we'll probably give you a little special video that no one else will get to see. So that's fun as a thank you. But as an additional thank you, we appreciate what you guys do for us. It allows us to invest into the show and improve our stuff. So thank you, T Nugget, Dr. Brandroid, Durka, Poolfire93, Miller, Cyber Shorty, and Old Stray Dog. You can find us wherever podcasts are available for streaming. You can also find literally everything about us on our website, dlgamingnews.com. Literally everything is there. All the links are there. Anything you could possibly want there. But if you're too lazy, you can find us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at DL Gaming News, on Instagram at GooseCatProd, or you can follow us individually on Instagram at DL_Jameson.
And at DL_Mother Goose.
And I'm going to try my new sign off this time. So normally I say good luck and have fun, everybody. But, being the big cat, I don't know if it's going to be well received, but as my sign off, I'm going to say, don't forget to show us your roar face.
Amount of disappointment.
Brenna, sign off, please. You're making me uncomfortable.
Good. You need to stew in this uncomfortability.
No, sign off. End it.
Remember, keep your goose loose. I cannot eat.
Good luck. Have fun, everybody.
Have you ever wondered how deep the Elder Scrolls lore rabbit hole goes? Have you got a grasp of the basics and want to find out more about the universe? Written in Uncertainty is here to help you. We'll be mixing in philosophy, theology, and whatever other theory is useful with Elder Scrolls texts to untangle some of the biggest questions in the series, like what are dragon breaks, how does Chim work, where did the Dwemer go, and more. Check us out at writteninuncertainty.com or find Written in Uncertainty on any podcatcher. Thanks for listening, and catch you later in the Grey Maybe of Tamriel.
Are you an avid player of the Elder Scrolls Online and looking to take your game to that next level? Well, the Red Diamond Courier podcast is here to help. I'm Bob Chichinski.
And I'm Dogbark24.
We are two experienced players aiming to help others learn and improve through in-game knowledge and references.
From PvE
To PvP,
and everything in between.
there's sure to be something for you in the Red Diamond Courier.
We hope you check us out. Thanks.